Welcome back to our channel. Very excited to have you here again. We're going to talk a little bit about refinancing. Now, you've gone through the mortgage process one time already when you bought your home. Why in the heck would you want to go through that process again? Well, the reasons are it could save you thousands and thousands of dollars, and that's why you want to look at doing this. Now, it may be for another reason entirely. So what in the heck is refinancing? Well, refinancing is different than just getting a lower rate on your current loan. Refinancing is actually paying off in full the loan that you have on your house. Maybe you used that loan to buy your home. Maybe you've already refinanced it one time before, but you're going to pay off that loan with a brand new loan. And you're going to have a few reasons on why you'd want to do that. Let's start off with the first and most obvious reason. That would be you got a house and you close in 2023 in October, and your interest rate is 8.25%. Those were some of the highest interest rates we've seen in my career in doing this over 20 years. If you got a loan and closed in October of 2023, you're probably already in the process of refinancing, or you're going to be looking at it very seriously. We've been in touch with most of our clients that have purchased during that time. If you can go from 8.25% to 6%, the market's somewhere near 6% now here in September of 2024. We're about the lowest we've seen interest rates since February of 2023. So we've seen a nice improvement. This is a great time to go ahead and pay off that old loan, do what's called a rate and term refinance, which just means you're paying off your existing lien, maybe rolling in closing costs, and then we're starting that loan all over again. Now, you may lose some time, meaning you started paying off your 30-year mortgage a year ago, where a year later you're doing a new 30-year mortgage, so it's going to take you one more year to pay this thing off. Couple things to think about. You're not going to be there in 30 years anyway, so don't worry about that. You can do a 29-year amortization if you choose to, or you can just make that payment if that makes you feel better. But if you save hundreds of dollars per month, then you're going to find a great reason to plow through the process of refinancing. Now, fortunately, our team does a really good job of making this process as easy as possible. So rate and term refinance is the first reason you might refinance, and that's basically just lowering from one interest rate to getting a lower rate, which is going to lower your overall interest costs over time. Another reason you may want to look at refinancing is because you may have accumulated some debt over the last year or even some other period of time, and you realize you have all this equity in your house right now. You can take that equity, pay off your current mortgage, pay off these other debts, maybe even get a little cash out for a project around the house, and at that point, then you can just start a new loan. Now, in some instances, you can actually start with a lower rate, refinance into a higher rate. Now, while we wouldn't recommend that, if you're paying off 22% or 28% credit card debts, sometimes you can, one, actually still save money via interest, meaning lower average interest cost, or two, make your cash flow significantly better, right? If you've got significant credit card debt, knocking that off, putting it into your home loan is going to make your cash flow significantly better. Now, what we really recommend if you are doing that is that you rip up those credit cards, stick them in the freezer, whatever you got to do to make sure you don't go build up more and more credit card debt. While we're happy to refinance you again next year, it's really not the best use of your home to utilize it as an ATM. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a second out of the content that we're shooting and sharing with you to ask you a favor. If you like what you're hearing, please be sure to like, subscribe, and if you've got any kind of questions about anything we're talking about or other topics that you'd like us to discuss, be sure to drop those in the comments. We'll be sure to respond to you and love to add another video that will help you in what you're looking for. Thanks so much again for taking the time to watch our video, and we really appreciate you sharing this with others. Another reason you may want to look to refinance is that you've got a lot of equity in your current home and you want to do work on your house, or maybe you want to buy an investment property and need that down payment. A lot of people don't realize that you can utilize equity in your current home, whether it's an equity line or an actual mortgage that you get cash out in. Use that cash to go buy your second home or investment property, whether that's at the beach, local to your current mortgage, or at the mountains somewhere that's further away that you can go utilize. You can utilize it for Airbnb, you can utilize it for VRBO, or just put it on the rental market in general. But it's a great way to utilize your current equity to go build wealth and create more real estate opportunities down the road. Now, those are the basic reasons for looking to refinance. When you're putting a plan together, it's really important that you work with a lender that you trust that's going to not just do the refinance for you, but really give you great financial advice over the short term and long term, depending on how long you're going to be in your current property, how long you're going to potentially have a rental property if you're going to do that, or how to manage your overall debt situation. It's really, really important that you work with somebody that you know and trust that's got great experience that can help give you the very best advice. So naturally, we also sometimes give our clients reasons why they shouldn't refinance. If it doesn't make sense for you, we're not going to do your refinance just to close your loan. So we're going to tell you if we believe it makes sense, and then of course you can make that decision on your own. So let's talk about reason number one why it may not make sense to refinance. One, naturally, if your rate improvement is not great enough from where you currently are, then you should wait until rates get lower. If that were to happen, then you'll have a greater opportunity to make your money back. Again, there are costs to refinance. They're going to range somewhere between $3,500 to $5,000, depending on your circumstances. We want to find out, this is reason number two, we want to know what your break-even cost is, right? If it costs $3,500 to refinance and you save $100 a month to do a refinance, well then that's going to take you about 35 months to break even. If you don't think you're going to be in that home for significantly longer than 35 months, I would not spend the time or energy to go through that refinance process. It may not benefit you at all. Now, the other side of that, if you're going to get $300 a month and it costs us $3,500, then you're going to earn that money back in less than a year. And if you're planning on being in that home for, let's call it 3 years or more, then that's going to make a lot of sense. One other reason why you may not want to refinance is if you're not sure of your job situation and you think you may be moving to another area where you may be selling your home in the next year or so, or just in any other reason, maybe selling your home in a very short period of time, then I would not recommend going through the refinance process because it could end up costing you more money than it saves you. Now, let's talk a little bit about your current escrow situation. Now, your escrow account is where we keep your taxes and your insurance that are piled up every month. When you make a payment, 1/12 of your homeowner's insurance and 1/12 of your taxes goes into this savings account so that the mortgage company can then pay the insurance bill when it's due and pay the tax bill when it's due. Something that's happened over the last year is that insurance has gone up roughly 20% for most families. Taxes have gone up somewhere between 20 and 50%. The current mortgage payment that you have did not know that those taxes and insurance were going to go up, and so they're not collecting enough money for next year's tax bill. In fact, this year's tax bill, they may even run out of money in your escrow account, and they may ask you for money come January to get that caught up. If they haven't yet, I assure you that will be occurring in January, so you really want to prepare for that. When you're looking to refinance, if you happen to have an FHA or a VA loan, there's some great opportunity there that you may not need an appraisal. In fact, you probably won't need one. So if the value of your home hasn't gone up as much as you'd like or need it to for a traditional refinance, this won't matter because we won't need an appraisal. For FHA and VA streamlined refinances, all we really need to do is determine that you've made your mortgage payment on time for a certain number of months. And at that point, we can qualify you drop your interest rate from the mid 7s to the low 6s, maybe even in the 5s right now for government loans like FHA and VA. And this will create a great monthly savings at a very minimal cost, and it's super easy to get those refinances done. Very little headache for you at all as a homeowner or consumer. In fact, we can do them as a lender very easily as well. So those are great opportunities. If you have a VA or an FHA loan that you've had in a home that you've purchased over the last year or two where rates have been 7% or more, then it is a great opportunity to look at refinancing that right now. I hope this video has helped you learn more about refinancing and why you may, should, or why you might not want to refinance. If this has been helpful, or if you've got questions, be sure to put your questions in the comments below. Naturally, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet, and like the video, and even better yet, please share it with your friends, family, coworkers, or neighbors that are maybe thinking about going through this process. We'd love to see you again soon on our next video here at our channel.